Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's session, I'm going to talk about the first play in the fourth unit of DGVC Foundation English 3. The name of the play is The Valiant. The Valiant was written by Halworthy Hall and Robert Middlemas. And before that, please subscribe the channel, like and share the channel. Okay, and this writer, Halworthy Hall, its actual name is Harold Everett Porter, Harald Everett, Everett Porter, Porter. Okay, this is the actual name of the writer, but he wants to publish under the pseudonym, very popular writer. He also published, short stories, and he contributed for short stories and serials like the Saturday Evening Post and Cosmopolitan, Harper's, American Magazine, and Collier. So to these works, he contributed. And Porter graduated in the year 1909 from Harvard University, and that is the home of Halworthy Hall. He worked for his father's publishing firm. Okay, that was his father's company where he was working, and he was serving as a president from 1910 to 1916. Later, he served with the U.S. Army. During the First World War, he was working in the U.S. Army Corps. Okay, and he was assigned to military intelligence, where he rose to the rank of captain, and he was well known for the work called the Six Best Sellers, CELLARS. Okay, that is most popular work, which was published in the year 1919. So along with, he also published one other plays, which is Hugh McNair, Cackler, and The Valiant. Okay, so these one other plays were published along with the work called the Six Best Sellers. So he was died in the year 1949 in California, Los Angeles. Okay, now let us get into the play. In this play, we need to remember few characters, which are like the Warden Holt, H-Y-L-T. So the warden is about 60 years old. And there was and one more character, the prison chaplain, whose name is Father Daly. And there was a prisoner, James Dyke. And one young girl, she's about 18 years old, Josephine Paris, Josephine, Josephine Paris, Paris. Okay, so this is the girl, who is about 18 years old. And there was a minor character, Dan, who was a jailer. Okay, not much important. And okay, these are the characters which need to remember to understand the play well. The scene was set in the warden's office in the state's prison at Connecticut. Okay, this play opens with a conversation between the warden and the chaplain, Warden Holt, and Father Daly, the chaplain. Okay, these two are beginning the play. They were talking about the prisoner Dyke, James Dyke, D-Y-K-E, James Dyke, about whom they are talking, because he's a prisoner, he's a murderer. Okay, he was convicted. Okay, now he needs to be executed. So they were inquiring what is the motto of his murder and who is he from actually. They were inquiring about him, but this guy wouldn't reveal his own identity. And they also published about this fellow in newspapers. There are many letters they've received about claiming that he might be belongs to this particular family, or might be the brother of this fellow. Okay, they published news about this fellow, and many people are writing letter to warden they've received, but still the warden was not convinced, because he was not ready to reveal his own identity. He was not ready to claim that he is from this particular family, he is brother of this girl, he is son of this family. He didn't open it, he didn't tell the truth. So the warden was in a big confusion, because he agreed that he did the murder. he agreed. Okay, he agreed. He confessed. He pleaded the guilty that he was the one who did the murder. Okay, but he didn't open. He didn't reveal why. What is the motive for this murder? What made him to kill? And he says, like, he needs to be died. He needs to be killed. So that is why I killed. I'm ready to take up the punishment. He was ready to accept the execution for his murder, but he didn't open the truth. This guy, the prisoner James Dyke, who also wrote his autobiography to a newspaper. The newspaper syndicate, they paid him about for $2,500 for his autobiography, but they understood that it was not true. It was a fake autobiography. He didn't write his own history. He lied in this autobiography, but still he was paid. So the warden was not convinced. He was in a confusion how to find his identity. He was searching, if he was looking if anybody who visits after reading the newspaper about him, they'll be claiming about his the fellow James Dyke. Okay, he was expecting. Right before that, the warden and the Father Daly, they decided to bring him from his room to stay in front of their presence, okay, in front of them, so that they can find something. Okay, if they keep looking at this fellow, they may come to know something about this fellow. So they made James Dyke to be seated, to stay in front of their presence, okay, in his room, in their room, in the warden room. Now James Dyke was taken to the warden's room and he was made to sit. He was very polite and quiet. He was not troubling. So the warden was very happy. So warden was trying to help him, but this fellow was not ready to open the truth. Okay, where is he from? Why he has done the murder? But he accepted that he is the one who did the murder, who killed him. Now there was a young girl, she's about 18 years old. Okay, she was coming, Josephine Paris, she was coming to meet, and she said, I got the permission from the governor to meet this prisoner because she was sent by her mother. Mother was sick, she was staying, she couldn't come, and the girl came to inquire this fellow whether he might be her brother. Okay, she had a brother who was not coming back to the house for few years, so she thought he might be her brother. Okay, actually she was sent by her mother after reading the newspaper. Now she came and spoke to the warden that I need to inquire, okay, this fellow, whether he might be my brother or not. Now the warden wanted to talk. He started talking to the girl before meeting the guy. Okay, before she goes to meet the guy, the warden wanted to talk to the girl. Okay, he's asking about her brother. What is the actual character of your brother? Okay, and she said, it was about 8 years back. I was 10 years old. I didn't remember much things about my brother, but he speaks frequently about Shakespeare stories. He mentions Shakespeare stories frequently, but warden said, no way, he was not aware of, he won't talk about Shakespeare, he has no any idea about Shakespeare works, so he cannot be the brother to the girl. Even Father Daly also asking about the girl. Okay, what else do you remember about him? Okay, because she was very young when he left the house. He sent letters for a few years, but last 4 years he didn't write any letter to the home. That is why the family became very worrying about it. The family was worrying about him, so the mother sent her to inquire this fellow after reading the news about him. Now she was asked what was her brother name. Her brother name was Joseph Anthony Paris. The girl name was Josephine Paris. Okay, Josephine Paris, but our brother name was Joseph Anthony Paris. Now, this fellow initially denied to talk to the girl. Initially, James Dyke, who denied to talk to the girl, but the warden said she has traveled miles to meet you. So now he said he agreed to talk to the girl. Now she was talking, started her conversation with him, whether he was interested in reading books. He said, if I don't have any other important work, I started reading. Okay, that the conversation was going, but he asked, okay, do I look like your brother? Slightly you are looking like my brother. But he said, no, I'm not your brother. But later he said, like, I'll tell you, tell me your brother name. She said, my brother name is Joseph Anthony Paris, but we used to call him Joe, Joe. We used to call him Joe shortly. That was his, the name we used to call him. And he said, like, he said, I'll tell you about your brother. When I was in army, there was a war occurred between Jerry's and Canadian soldiers. Jerry means German soldiers. Between these two, the war was happened there. In that war, your brother was doing good job. He was fighting very bravely, and during the war, he was killed. He was killed during the war. He said all these things to the girl. The girl became, upset because she was having a small hope that she could meet her brother in future, but now she lost the hope that she cannot meet her brother because she was told, like, her brother was passed away. He was killed in the war, so she lost the whole hope that her brother will come. Now, after that, the girl wanted to leave. Before that, this boy, he wanted to give the money to the girl which he has received for his fake autobiography. Okay, the amount which he gave to the girl and asked her to give the money to your mom. This will help for your mom's treatment. And after that, he says, I can regard you as my sister. Okay, he wanted to touch her. Okay, he also says that, tell your mom that this gift is from the man who was, at the place where he had seen your brother die. Okay, and he was working with your brother, so he is the one who gave the money. He is also telling, like, you can also buy a gold star where both of you can get a gold with this money. And she said, no, I will do that, I will do this. She was about to leave. Okay, there he said, I didn't have any sister of my own, okay, to say goodbye. Okay, now if she wants the girl to say goodbye as a sister, so she also said goodbye, my dear. Okay, she also said, touched her. Okay, he touched her as his sister, and she also spoke to him as a brother. Now she was leaving from him. Now after that, this guy, he needs to be taken for the execution, because that was the punishment which was given. When he was taken to there, he was very confident. Okay, he was very courageous. He was not scaring about the punishment. And when he was taken to the execution, he said a line from Shakespeare story, which is, the cowards will die many times before the death, but the valiant never taste of death but once. Okay, there the warden was completely shocked, because she gave a statement like, the girl, my brother used to tell me Shakespeare's story. Now he was thinking that James Dyke didn't know anything about Shakespeare, but he is opening statements about Shakespeare, so he understood that he is the one. So he was lying. He is the one, the girl's brother. He is the one, the Joseph Anthony Paris. So he understood. It was revealed that this fellow is the girl's brother, but still he was not ready to agree. He was ready to take up the punishment. He was ready to take up the execution, but he was not ready to open the truth. But it was revealed at the end that he is not James Dyke. He is Anthony Paris, the brother of Josephine Paris. So even at the end of his life, he was telling Shakespeare's line, like, the cowards will die many times before the death, but valiant never taste of death but once. Finally, the guy was executed, and with which the curtain falls. With this, the lecture gets over. Thanks for listening my lecture. Kindly subscribe the channel.